videos, like Jane Fonda workout videos, and it was always the warm-up period. So, start at my neck. I always just start at the top and head down. Head down. It's been a minute a long time since I worked out, so it feels good to just stretch. Whew, feels good. Shoulders are tight. Let's see if I can balance. No, not well. There we go. Knees hurt. Okay, I hope you're warmed up and ready to walk. So today we walked through the Capernaum Studios. It's where they filmed the first 2 seasons of The Chosen. And there's a lot of stuff you'll recognize in here, but I will say that one thing we realized is it was hard to recognize anything because they make it look so different with the different props and backdrops and things like that. But at the beginning, I mean, this has been a studios. It wasn't just made for The Chosen. But at the beginning, they have like some beautiful statues and scriptures on the walls and stuff like that. So we're going to go through all of that. And I'm guessing that was the Earth before it was really, or the blob of a solar system. I don't know. But I went with my brother, who bought me the tickets for Christmas, and then my friend Carol, who's a huge fan of The Chosen. And I'm not necessarily going to walk through or talk through this whole thing. Today, it's snowing and icing in Texas, or in our area, most of Texas, I think. Maybe most of the country, I don't know, I didn't look. But I know that it's cold, and I love it cold, so you can bundle up. So, now it was windy on this day that we went through here, but it was really nice. It was cold still, and it was overcast, but it was nice in the sense that you could, inside all these places, it was not bad at all. And walking, and so it kept it nice and comfortable. I think if it was a hot day, it would be miserable. Now, they film other stuff here. Clearly, The Chosen hasn't filmed there in years. But the thing they're doing right now is called Washington's Armor. And so they make a lot of stuff not just look like it's old time and Bible times and stuff, but just old Americana. And this is a tavern that they filmed in. One thing we realized, just how tiny the rooms are. And yet, I guess the way they film everything, it makes it look much bigger. And I will say, they disguise a lot of things with backdrops and things like that. And if you watch videos or movies now, for me, I'm seeing they film a lot of stuff close up and you don't really realize the background. It's very interesting. I'll talk more about that when we get down into the Capernaum part. But these are just scriptures in the walls. It was a very cool place. Definitely would be a great place to just walk through and kind of ponder life. I guess that's what we're doing. The idea of the videos, I've said it, but I think until it kind of takes hold and gets an audience, it's kind of lost on it all. But the idea is just each day you need to walk, or 3 days a week, or 5 days a week, or whatever. And if you don't get out of your house much or can't really walk, then this gives you the opportunity to be like you're outdoors or see some different sights. I really like it when I can leave the voices in and the background noises. But in this, we were all over the place, and so I had to really edit it to get some coherent flow of walking. And we were just in awe. We were like, oh, look at this, look at this, look at this. Where was this? What was this? Oh, wow. That kind of timed well with my camera work of going, what am I looking at? I'm so sorry. I make myself laugh. Oh, I might not make anybody else laugh, but I make me laugh. I think about all the time, I'm pretty monotone, and when I'm doing craft videos especially, a lot of people appreciate the fact that I kind of chill things out and make them feel comfortable and calming when crafting. And I tend to bring that over to here, so it might get a little boring. I would say you can turn me down and just barely listen, but turn up some music, because that always is motivating. And think about it. A 20-minute walk, like you could, well, really, 5-minute warm-up, 20-minute walk, 5-minute cool-down. So 30 minutes is a good 5 or 6 songs. So find your favorite 5 or 6 songs, and there's my silly brother. There's the tomb. But yeah, put on some music and just go to town. Those are people not with us. It was very moving. It was a very nice little tour. We did a self-guided tour, so we could take time to do all the stuff. And then here was Jesus resurrected. I saw online the other day they were looking for someone to restore the statues. I don't have that kind of skill, but it would be a cool job. Now here we're going into more of Capernaum, and this was they call it the East Gate, but I think they use it on any gate scene they had in the first couple of seasons, and they can decorate it up however they want. It was just crazy to me how tiny everything seemed. If you're not a fan of the show, you're going to be like, what do I care? But it's very interesting to watch. When you first come inside the gate, over to the right is Matthew's tax booth, which is cool. And then that's the marketplace where you see all the hustle bustle. And you see that tree in the background of a lot of different scenes. But there's Matthew's tax booth. And this is Peter's house. Now, in the show, they're not that close. But like I said, they can give you the illusion of anything. In fact, as we go through Peter's house here in a second, if you watch the show, you'll see there's the entryway, which you see him come in and wash his feet all the time. And then here's where they always have the food prep going on. If you watch the show, you'll see that stuff. But what just floored me is how tiny this room is and how tiny that table. I mean, they show him sitting on the floor. But if you see that rock wall in the background there, that's an illusion they give you because it makes it look like there are more rooms back there. It's very interesting. I was always joking with them in this. I was like, guys, we can talk over the video and stuff. I just need to get footage so that I can fix everything in post. in post production. Silliness. Now this is weird because this is where the tavern and the pawn shop scene is what it says record or filmed in here. In the tavern, when Jesus first meets Mary and he puts his hand on hers and says, "That's not for you." I don't know how they filmed all that in there. And then she comes running out the door down this little area. And then she turns and he says, "Mary." And she's like, I don't remember what she says. But anyways, that's that little area. It looks totally different in the movie or the show. So the rest of this, I'm just going to be showing you all the different little areas. That's my friend Carol. And we all are now watching the shows, trying to figure out the different scenes. I remember seeing a little kid sitting on that well. It wasn't necessarily right there. I mean, the well was, but again, they just give you enough information to make your brain thinking it's all working together. There's so much that goes on in this little marketplace area. I did notice one time Andrew, when he came to tell Peter about the Messiah, he ran up those little stairs and then into his little house area. I think that's where the kids were sitting, but now that I saw it again, I don't think that's where they were sitting, but that's what we were thinking when we were there. The little map told us that this was Emma's house. I think this was it. If there's another room going. Yeah. No, that wasn't it. I don't know. It was, there was just no way to really recognize most of it because it is something that they fix in post. Now, Zebedee's house and some other little things, like, because there's a hole in the roof, and so that one was pretty obvious. It's up there in the far left corner, but it's gone now. But yeah, that was pretty recognizable. We had a great time. I mean, it was just fascinating to see it all. Even if The Chosen hadn't been filmed there, it's just interesting to see. There's an upper room there. And on top of Zebedee's house, which is there to the right, they filmed a lot of scenes up on top of that. We're like, how did they do that? The scene with Nicodemus on the roof. And the beauty shop scene, they said, I don't know. There was a lot of drapes hung down for backgrounds. Because when she comes out to get the flower, it's like, it gives you the illusion that they're filming right there on the ground. This, I think, was what they had marked as Emma's house. Because I remember there was a stove there. Not, well, oven, I guess is what you call it back in those days. Like a brick oven. We could make some pizza in there. I think she was making bread and feeding them soup or something one day. To me, this looks like the area where he was interacting with Joseph, but I don't know if that was in the first 2 seasons when he gave him the bridle. And up here to the right is the well where they were leaving from, and Nicodemus was hiding around the corner. There's the well. That's what I just said. And pointed. We were like kids in a candy store. Then this little door, we thought, what's behind here? So I opened it up. Building anticipation here. That's another production trick, not really. And it's a break room. With a bathroom. There's bathrooms around the corner, though. It's just so interesting. But yeah, there's the well, and I think up here is where Nicodemus was hiding. There's my brother. He took a picture of me, videoing him. Up there in that cave is where John the Baptist was in prison. There's my brother again. Keep walking even when I'm just filming. Get those steps in. I wonder how much it costs to film out there. It'd be fun to get a bunch of costumes and go film something silly. Really, these days you don't even need much to do that. A room or 2. Now, funny thing, this is Zebedee's house. And I was like, oh, this is cool. I didn't know at this point that this was Zebedee's house. And so they say this around the back here is where the Red Quarter was filmed, where Nicodemus is coming to see Mary. It's just crazy to me how I think back to that scene and it doesn't seem like it was taken in 30 feet, but it was. And this, we were going up these stairs and just another room where they filmed some stuff. I don't know what they filmed. I know these days it's not technically called filmed because there's no film. It's all digital. And there's my brother again. This is out in West Texas. and I live kind of more north central Texas. It was only about an hour and a half from where I live. But yeah, you can see it's just, you have this illusion of a whole little town. And here I am at the back door of Zebedee's house. Still didn't see the hole in the roof. Now we're coming up through the red quarter. And then, honestly, this was all pieced together, because at some point I didn't go back into the front door of that house, but my brother's like, that's Zebedee's house. And I'm like, what? There's a hole in the roof. Finally, I saw it. Where they let down that guy to be the paralyzed man. But there's the back door. Jesus had to run out when the Pharisees were coming to find out who he was, creating the crowd. This is where John the Baptist was imprisoned. Not right out here, but in this cave.
It's where John the
And
Baptist
you can
was
kind
in
of see
prison.
behind that
It
little
looks like
wheel
it's
thing,
converted right now to a manger
wagon, I guess.
for a different
wheelbarrow, I
video,
don't know.
but this says it was
There's a
where
square,
John the Baptist was in
a couple
prison.
of them on top of each other. Well, if you watch The Chosen and you see that scene, John the Baptist and Nicodemus are talking through squares like that. So again, on the other side, that seems like a huge prison cell he's in, and it was just that tiny 6 feet they were filming in. Now here we're going up the stairs to Zebedee's house. You can see every step I take, step. And that roof was squishy. And I was like, no, thank you. I'm not going to walk on that. I could see myself falling through and being so embarrassed. But my brother took a shot at it. You can tell, though, he's like, don't want to fall through here. These are just different perspectives. Keep walking. Even though I'm not walking here, I'm just filming. Get those knees up high. Move those arms out to the side. Since it is here, it's so cold and snowy and icy, tomorrow I'm going to film a video of me watching the video, walking, showing you what I mean by the concept of watch me walk and walk with me, and then we feel like we're together. I've done walking before, and I'd go to the parks and stuff, but the last few I've done in towns, Roanoke, Grapevine, Mineral Wells, and that was fun. It's like time just flew, so I think we're going to do more of that. Much more. And I think I'm done talking, because I'm even tired of hearing myself yammer. I would put music in stuff, but I'm always afraid that I'm going to get a copyright strike, or I don't know how even they have copyright free music, but you still have to give credit to the people. And then I thought, well, if I'm using a service down the road, if I change and stop using that service, what do I do with all that copyright free music? Would I still have access? Would I need to pay for it? I don't know. So I just don't use music. Alright, so we are going to do 5 minutes of warming up. I'm a kid from the 80s where we did videos, like Jane Fonda workout videos, and it was always the warm-up period. So start at my neck. I always just start at the top and head down. Head down. It's been a minute since a long time since I worked out. So it feels good to just stretch. Whew, feels good. Shoulders are tight. Let's see if I can balance. No, not well. There we go. Knees hurt.